Welcome everybody to the second episode of the Going Thru It Podcast. Filmed on a completely different day.
I just want to shout out everybody for the support on the last episode.
The pilot. Yeah, thank you guys for the support on the last episode.
We definitely saw your comments. We
received lots and lots of positive support, and just thank you guys. All the comments that you guys left, we're going to be looking into them. Mm-hmm. We're going to be getting to it on the third episode. It's just the second episode.
The second episode,
just to get a look at the timeline here, it was like we filmed the pilot, and then we dropped it, and then the next morning, we filmed right away because I had things to do, so we already had like a little schedule we're on where the last episode we said we'd get to all the questions left on the initial, so that's just what we're catching up right now. Right?
Yeah. So anyways, last episode, we try to answer as many questions as possible. We didn't get to all of them, unfortunately, but that's what this episode is here for. We did promise Mr. Patrick P. we were going to get to his questions this episode because he asked some great questions. What did he ask?
He asked best school experiences.
Oh, that kind of ties into a question we received on the official Going Thru It Podcast Instagram by
at
what?
What's the at
of the person that asked the question? Yeah. A gentleman by the name of Rio.Llamas. He said we should talk about Beat Your Teachers.
Shout out, Rio.
Shout out. Beat Your Teachers, for the most part, I liked most of them, like all of the Beat Your Teachers except a certain few.
Good people.
I can't really talk about the teachers I don't like because my siblings still go through that school system. It would be unprofessional. There was a certain... Never mind, I'm not even going to say that. My siblings still go through the school system, so it would be setting them up for failure for me to open my mouth on this podcast about the teachers I didn't like. But the teachers I did like, that's a completely different topic. Shout out Mr. LeBanca, greatest teacher in the Beecher school system.
Mr. LeBanca's the GOAT.
Mr. Daly was another great one. May he rest in peace.
Our hearts go out to that.
Who else was a really good teacher?
I like Miss Payne. Miss Payne was a good teacher.
She was good.
Got me through math. Help me out. Mr. Smolson?
Oh yeah, shout out Mr. Smolson.
Made science fun.
I apologize for if you're Mr. Smolson, if you're watching this, I just want to thoroughly apologize for the incident that happened in the hallway. I'm really sorry. I still am really sorry about that. I know that was 3 years ago now?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
That was junior year, so yeah, 3 years ago now. What was I thinking? I don't know.
Foolish.
I'm sorry.
I'm very childish.
That was a foolish mistake on my part. Shout out to you, Mr. Smolson.
Shout out Pav for our Hail Marys. I'm sure he remembers us going into his classroom the day before every test and learning enough to pass. So, shout out Pav. Shout out Mr. McCord for programming my calculator and teaching me how to do things on the TI-83 when everybody had the TI-84. Shout out Mr. McCord.
Shout out Mr. Jacobs.
I never had Mr. Jacobs.
I never had Mr. Jacobs as a teacher, but listen, Mr. Jacobs did me and my buddies a big favor one time.
I remember, okay.
We can't say what it was. You probably remember what it was. And you did us a big favor, and for that, Mr. Jacobs does deserve a shout out.
Shout out King. Shout out King. He made you take the final. Oh, I had to take it too, don't worry. So that's all I got for Beat Your Teachers, but best school experiences, I feel like that goes...
Oh yeah, Mr. Patrick P's question.
Yeah, best school experiences, I feel like that goes for all of my years as a student.
Well, I was new to the high school in freshman year. So, well, I was new to the school district freshman year. So freshman year there wasn't like too much event. It wasn't really eventful.
I guess I could add like all the corny things like.
Except there was an altercation between two individuals. You guys know who you are. I won't be name dropping you. Freshman year.
Oh yeah.
During lunch over a mustard packet. That was a good memory. Even though I didn't see the fight, but I remember.
It was an altercation.
It was an altercation that escalated.
That escalated. I mean, I have all the corny best school experiences, like being on the soccer team and baseball team and stuff like that, band. But those are all good, you know. But I mean, I miss lifting for baseball. I feel like we used to have a good time when we would do conditioning. But school experiences, I have a bunch of them.
Food or fun for Mr. Smolson's class.
Food or fun. Our egg project, when we dropped an egg from the
time a milk carton went flying across the lunchroom. That was a good experience.
The day the lights went out for like 4 hours.
The day the lights went out and somebody hit me with the bail. I apologize for my no, hold on. If you're watching this, you know who you are. If you threw the piece of food at me, I responded in a completely inappropriate way. I just want to apologize. I feel bad about that every day too. I should not have done that. That was really bad. Continue.
Shout out Miss Rowe. Actually, I forgot to shout out Miss Rowe. We used to watch a movie in that class. Like
shout out Miss Rowe.
Once every 2 weeks. Billy's party that we threw for him.
Billy's party?
In Spanish class.
Oh, when he got beat up?
Yeah, we got.
When he was the victim of an altercation.
Our friend Billy was the victim of an altercation that escalated that never should have happened. It honestly could have been avoidable. I think both parties have moved past it, and we're
all bigger people as a result.
Yeah, bigger people. We're adults. We've got things, but we did in fact throw Billy a cake so he could feel better afterwards. We got a pizza roll, Sprite, Coke.
Shout out Sips.
Shout out Sips too.
He was there,
and we got him a custom cake from Waltz. So shout out Waltz for that amazing and delicious cake and doing exactly what we asked for. I'd pull up the picture, but you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and post the picture after we drop this video. I'm gonna post it on the social media so you guys can actually see
what the cake was like.
Yeah, we're being for real. So we got that. Any other thing? I mean, we have the shenanigans we can't really talk about.
No, there are a couple of like really good experiences that we can't talk about. For example, if you were in my consumer math class, you probably already know what I'm talking about. There were some shenanigans that went on inside there. Certain things going on with the architecture that we can't talk about. But, you know, if you were there, you would know.
I was not there, but I know.
You know? The janitors are also very aware.
That is terrible.
Hey, I'm sorry. I actually apologize to the janitors for making them go through that.
But that shout out Beecher High School. Shout out to the school district. Keeping things moving along during this remote learning. And we did it for about 2 months because it was the end of our senior year. But we know I can only imagine how difficult it is for all the students and teachers going through it right now. So, you know, if any teachers
for the current seniors, I would feel bad for, but most of them are degenerates anyway.
I can't say that.
Yes, I can.
Anyways, shout out to teachers. Keep doing what you're doing. If you go right now, no, never mind. I don't know. Never mind.
Now time for some more, rapid fire questions. Wrap up. Somebody commented on the poll. We should talk about COVID-19 thoughts about the present and what the future will look like. I'm gonna keep it real simple for you. Before COVID-19, I would stay inside my house all day, never leave, and not talk to anybody. During COVID, I would stay inside my house, never leave, not talk to anybody. And after COVID, I'm going to stay inside my house, never leave, and not talk to anybody. What about you, Miguel?
COVID is very real, but it is what it is.
If you haven't gotten your vaccination already, please do so.
I don't think it's a political statement. I think it's very real. But it is what it is. I mean, I do think there's a lot of misconceptions about it, to be honest with you. I don't know. I had it, but, I mean, I'm here now. Still, it is what it is. I think if you want to wear a mask, wear one. If you don't.
I remember when you got COVID, and I had you on speakerphone at the Xbox party like you were dying.
Yo, like, how do you feel, bro? What's going on? I do remember that. Dude, I think I was the first confirmed case of COVID in Beecher.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, everybody at that old folks home had it, remember?
That was before me. Or that was after me.
Oh.
I got in. Oh, whatever. Any other rapid fire questions?
The war on drugs. We're losing.
We down 3-1. We down 3-1 to the war on drugs. I think the war on drugs doesn't start with police or incarceration. I think it begins at a young age and you know, just things like that. I think the DARE program failed our generation. I think in order to fix the war on drugs, we have to fix our jail system. To be honest with you. But that we could leave that for a different time.
Mm-hmm. Another LOL viewer here commented that we should talk about serial killers.
We are not educated or knowledgeable enough to talk about that. But what we can do is we can find some people who we could bring on here and they can educate us and
who are serial killers?
No, who are educated and knowledgeable enough on them where they can talk about them and we will.
We're gonna have a serial killer.
We're about to die on camera.
That would be good for views, low key, if we died on camera.
I'm not dying on camera, but anyways, we'll look into it.
There's another comment out here I'm not going to read out loud. Shame on you. You know who you are.
The person who's commenting those disgusting things on our polls, you will be blocked immediately. Mm-hmm. Is that all?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
A couple of them are too vulgar and disgusting to be read out loud on the.
All right. Well, thank you guys for commenting. As always, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe if you want to. We're not forcing you. If you want to, go ahead. If you want to follow us on the Going Thru It Podcast on Instagram, the Going Thru It Podcast, and then the Twitter is, I believe, just Going Thru It. I'm gonna be honest. Let me double check.
You know, every day we're closer to the goal. 1.4 mil.
1.4 mil.
We spoke to an analyst. He says we should be at 1.4 mil in about 6 months.
We got the growth chart going. Don't worry. We got the merch coming at 100 subscribers. Mm-hmm. And thank you guys again. Add my Snapchat for also some updates. Miguel Herrera 19. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.